This is the Sphere 13, and I know I have not been on for a long time. This is obviously a World of Tanks replay in my KVT on the new Stalingrad map, which I think this is one of the first times I was on. I've been playing a lot, trying to get everything to work, and you'll be able to see one of the many problems I have with my internet. As you can see, I'm looking around and doop, everyone just teleports. And I'm not sure exactly what makes my internet do that. I've talked with Charter, or had my parents talk with Charter. I've even talked with the Wi-Fi router company, which is going to be unnamed. But I honestly don't know what it is. It just seems to do that with a lot of my games. It'll just sit me there. I'll sit there, try to move, and then, you know, crappy frame rate. Well, anyway, on with the video, I guess. One of the things that I have been doing in World of Tanks is grinding towards the mouse. I'll make another video on that later, but one of the problems I see is bottom tier heavies. And I'm not talking about like, oh look, on the enemy team there's bottom tier heavy and he kicks my ass. What I'm talking about is being a bottom tier heavy myself. I don't know if I'll have very many gameplay of it. I mean, I don't typically want to save those games. So, anyway, with the whole bottom tier heavy situation, tank destroyers have a gun. They've never really had too good of armor, unless of course it's like a non-turreted Russian or German heavy tank. I mean, well, even the Americans, when they have no turret, you can typically get a lot of, what can I say, bounces in them because of their armor. Medium tanks, mobility. If they're bottom tier, well, they're just a scout that doesn't get the, what is it, camo rating a light tank does. When it comes to light tanks, obviously, they're preferred to have bottom or near bottom matchmaking. The heavy tank, on the other hand, typically slow, not as, basically at mid tier, it's a medium gun, and with the armor, which is really only effective at mid to top tier games, basically have a snail on your side that can't get through anything. Unless, of course, the enemy team is so distracted you manage to get behind them. I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. You jump in a game, you can't back out. At least I prefer not to back out. And nowadays you really aren't supposed to. Purely because of the inability to back out and actually get away with it nowadays. Now right here, I'm kind of just waiting for my teammate to get out of the way, so I can move forward, and there you go. I like how on this side there's nothing but a graveyard. I mean, we're outnumbered, mind you, but still, I was pretty happy with this game. It actually quite surprised me with how well I did. With, you know, these rubber band sessions and whatnot that the game decides to have on me. So now, last tank against 5. Chances are I'm gonna die. But I've done almost 1500 damage. I mean, it's a KV2, sure, but 1500 damage, and every time I've shot I've killed something, so one of my loaders is dead, so that's not too good, but still. Right now I am trying to find the artillery. One last hurrah, I guess you could say. And now back to why I haven't been putting videos up in a long time. The whole school system thing. Oh, yep, there's artillery. Haha, it is now 4 versus 1, and they all know where I'm at, so. But anyway, the whole school situation thing has been keeping me from getting on. That and my parents never realized that computer hackers were an actual thing. Now when I say that, I mean my computer was turning on in the middle of the night and I couldn't figure out why. My parents just decided, oh, you know, you've set up a program to do that. No, I'm not that good with computers. So then their next thing was, oh, you're getting on at 10 o'clock at night and going until noon on the weekdays when we know you wake up and go to school. Perfect sense. Perfectly logical sense. And so what they did was they had me get on my computer and I think this is the point where I died, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, that's always fun, having your parents accuse you of doing a whole bunch of just, you know, random crap. So on to the next one. In this segment, it'll be the TOG on Stalin map, which, again, fairly new map, and when I first got back on, I got a lot. But back to the thing in the last demo segment about the whole parents and not knowing that computer hackers are actually a real thing. So what my parents had decided to do was, okay, bring your computer upstairs and turn it on. Let's see what happens. Well, first off, I wouldn't let anyone log into it because it's set up to log in through an email account. The whole thing with the email account eventually decided to get blown over and let me log in. And they decided, you know what, let's check your computer history. And when it says, you know, you've been on for a good, I don't know, what was it, hour? And then got on, well, was still on while you're up there showing your internet history and it's still adding new things. And your parents decide, you know what, you've been on your computer from 10 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning. Let me check some of the weekdays. Oh, you've been on there till noon. Parents, that's all I can say. Parents, when you reach your teenage years, they just lose all trust in you. So I ended up having to leave my computer upstairs because, you know, I've been on my computer till 6 o'clock, well, noon some days, during the school day when I'm at school, because that's perfectly logical sense. And then, once they decide, you know what, let's check your internet history again to see if you're telling the truth. My background's changed, the whole internet browser's changed. Oh, you weren't lying when you said someone was hacking into your computer. I'm sorry. I must applaud you, parents. You're making complete and utter sense. But, you know, doing absolutely nothing. And it's just like that the whole time. I'll say one thing. Oh no, you can't be true. So let me just do what you said and say I did it right the first time. with absolutely no help. Because, you know, I'm right, you're wrong, no matter what you say or do. Yeah, parents, again, that's all I can say. So, anyway, as time went on, they eventually decided, you know what, let's give him his computer back. But, you know, not let him use it. So, after that whole thing gets blown over, I get on, and I'm just playing like mad. I mean, I'm not really caring about XP, I'm not caring about, well, I'm kind of caring about credits, because I don't want to go, oh, by the way, you want to play the game? You don't have enough credits. Go back to playing tier 1s and 2s. Oh wait, you can't buy the ammo for tier 1s and 2s. You know, that whole thing. So, I've been playing a bit, and I'm going to show you quite a few of the games in this video, maybe the next. But I've also been playing War Thunder. And one of the things I've noticed about War Thunder is you could play to your playing strengths. You know, like a BF-109. You could be using boom and zoom tactics all you want. But if someone decides to show up and shoot you out of the sky, they just shoot you out of the sky. I mean, there have been games where I'm just flying around, doing my own thing, shooting people down left and right, and there's no one around me. There's not even a Yak 90 in the game, and a Yak 19 shoots me down. And I'm left there wondering, what the hell just happened?
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
I mean, yeah, if there's Yak 9T in the game, congrats to him, he shut me down. I have no problem with that. But when there's not anything in the game with that name, much less a Russian in, you know, realistic battles, and a Russian Yak 9T just shoots me out of the sky, I mean, how much fun is that? So, I've been kind of just running about, doing whatever I wanted. Well, I guess I should move on to the next gameplay. So, yeah, that's always fun. Now, getting back to World of Tanks, like I've said probably 100 times knowing me, as soon as I got back on, I started grinding towards the mouse again. And the whole heavy thing and whatnot. But when I first got back on, there was the Leopard A prototype kind of on the track event. So, here's some of the games I played. Well, I'm going to show you one in the Lucius, two in the Panzer 1C, because that tank is just so much fun. Especially when it gives you a good matchup, not like, oh look at, the enemy team is all full of purples somehow at tier 5, and your team's all new, with, you know, less than 1,000 battles. And what you see me doing here is actually deciding, where the hell do I want to go? I decided, you know what, I'll head to town. And as you could probably see, or if you can't see, where it says FPS in the parentheses, 15 frames per second. I really do need a new computer. And, again, a better internet connection. Because of the whole rubber band thing that a lot of the online games I like to play do, because I have crappy internet service. Well, crappy internet connection. The service is actually pretty darn good, but... And that... Let's see. Panzer 38 probably didn't even know I was there, so don't really blame him. I'm just gonna continue on my little merry path. But back to the whole computer thing and whatnot. My brother's computer, I want to say 2 days ago, so let me see, that would have been Thanksgiving actually, decided, you know what, I'm done. My hard drive is done. I'm just going to kill myself on one. So my brother decides to load his computer up, and it gives him half the screen saying, "Sorry, but there's an error." I'm not gonna be able to tell you what it is, because, you know, half the screen dies, but you know, that's always fun. And in order to fully replace the hard drive, it's going to cost $595 plus shipping and handling to go to Dell and to come back from Dell. And I honestly don't know what it is. My parents just seem to go, "Oh, little brother needs," I don't know. More I think of something like a new iPod, well, new phone. Let me put it that new phone, because that's actual thing. Because, you know, he's only had a phone for 2 months. And I'm going to decide that, even though his older brother, aka me, had that phone for 3 years before we even decided, you know what, maybe your phone is a little out of date. They get him an iPhone 6. I mean, I'm never gonna get an iPhone 6. I don't like iPhones. They're too full of themselves, I guess you could say. But with how short of time he gets to go from the things I had when I first started out to something better than what I have now is astonishing. They say, "Oh, you know, we don't have favorites." I'm just gonna, you know, tell you, your dream is crap. Straight out, your dream is crap. I don't like your dream. You need to do what I say. And when they get to little brother, "Oh, you know, you're nothing but a pain. You're constantly getting into trouble. You've done nothing to help. In fact, I get into fights with you sometimes, but let's give you everything you want." I don't know if this is a sibling problem, but it's just a massive pain in the rear end. To the point to where I've actually had to think about, okay, maybe I have to pay for all my stuff now, because, you know, my parents aren't gonna help. So, you know, that's gonna be fun. But I just don't think it's right for parents to go, "Oh, you know, little brother, well, smaller sibling, and we're just gonna give him everything they want, basically. The older one can go get everything himself. They have to actually follow whatever we say, and if they want anything, go get it themselves. Because, you know, that makes 100% sense. And it just doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't. For parents and whatnot to go, "Oh, you want to, I don't know, let me see, get a new computer for the family." Because the desktop that we have is from, you know, 2000, and isn't compatible with anything, but, you know, it makes 100% sense to tell him, no, What you want to get is absolutely worthless. And just I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me how they think and whatnot. And the main reason that I want a new desktop for the family is because my dad is actually currently looking for a job. Oh, the irony about that. I'll get to that later. But they refuse to do anything with it. I mean, I'll tell my mom, hey, we need to, let me see, get a new computer so that way, you know, we could actually have a family desktop. And her response is, well, no, I'm not getting rid of it until I get all the pictures off of it. Then why aren't you getting the pictures off of it? Oh, because it doesn't run very fast. So then let's get a new computer. No. You're not understanding. I don't want a new computer right now because that would make too much sense. That would actually mean I would have to be intelligent enough to actually understand what you're saying. And as much as I'm bashing on my parents right now, they really don't seem to want to understand. I mean, the number one thing I heard from them is, well, you don't speak to us. So then, can I tell? No, I'm talking right now. You can't talk. And I wonder why I don't speak to you. I wonder why I don't hang out with you. Because every time I go to say something, your response, parents, is, oh, no, you're wrong. You're just wrong. No. What I say is always right. Until I admit I don't know something. In which case, I'm going to say, oh, Nathan, I need your help. And then, you know, claim that I knew it all along. My parents. I just don't know my parents. I mean, I could try to understand them, but when I start to speak about something, they'll go, oh, back in my day, and then say, a few seconds later, you don't understand me. Didn't you just say you're going to try and understand me? But, okay, you know, that whole ordeal. That's always fun to talk about. Anyway, after that whole rant, again, school's kind of been the thing to keep me off of this for quite a long time. So, this time around, it's not just English that's screwing me over. It's now math. And in science, we were supposed to build bridges. Well, I couldn't get on my computer because my parents decided, you know what, you may need this. So let's just take it because, you know, we've heard of this bridge thing. We know there's a program online to help you with this bridge thing. But I'm just not going to help you with anything and tell you, do it yourself. So, yay, that's all fun and dandy, but I ended up having to give it to a friend of mine to go to a website, test out the bridge's strengths. Well, he thought I told him to build it. And on to the next video, I guess. I'll talk. And back to the whole subject of, like, the science thing. And how my friend thought I told him to build it. He kept the plans, and he still has the plans for it. And not only did he not get to build his, because his parents decided, you know what, you're going to need to go to Home Depot well, not Home Depot, like some hobby shop to get balsa wood to make a balsa wood bridge for a science class. You might need a vehicle. So, you know, you have a truck, let me just take the keys to that and make sure you can't go get it. It just seems like no matter what I do, it's somebody's parents screwing me over. And even if it's not someone's parents, it's part of the school system or something similar to it that just seem to be screwing me over. And as much as I am ranting and raving and being a quote-quote brat, according to most people, this is one of the few places where I just get to speak. I mean, no one can stop me right now. That's the neat thing about being able to make YouTube videos. I can say whatever I want, and no one can stop me until afterwards. It's a massive stress relief. I mean, how often do you get to just talk to practically the whole world and get to say whatever the hell you want? You don't get to do that often. I mean, when you do get to speak to someone, you have to take into account what they want, what they say, what's going on with them. And I have a tendency to do that a little too much. By the time I think of something, it's long past whatever they were saying earlier. I mean, when it gets to the point of where I am just thinking about something said 10 minutes ago, it gets to be a bit of a pain. It gets to the point where you don't speak, you don't open your mouth, you don't say what's on your mind. Because when you care about other people more than you care about yourself, you really don't... how do I put this? You pay attention to... you think more than you speak. That old saying, think before you open your mouth. I'll think half an hour before I open my mouth. As I am 100% sure I know someone and their reaction will be such and such. I mean, that's just the way I am. I'm starting to think a little bit more than I should now. But I think anyone who's watching this well, any of you watching this will get the point. It's like, as soon as you start to turn, let me think. Let me think. It's like age 15, 16, and 17. Everyone just expects you to be an adult, while they treat you like a kid. And all teenagers out there about this age will probably understand what I mean. They don't really... they say they care about what you want, but they don't. I mean, back to my whole parents. The whole thing with my parents right now is They want me to try and find a career. So I want to say, so in the past 3, maybe the whole month, I've been getting asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do after high school? By my parents. And when I tell them with a straight face, oh, I want to play video games and record them and put them up on YouTube, they don't pay attention. I mean, what they'll do is go, oh, no, you need to do something that makes you money. So what you're telling me is, I shouldn't care about what I want, I should only care about the money. No, you should care about what you want too, but you should care more about the money. And I don't, and you know, son, I don't see YouTube making you any money right now. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, I barely get to post videos on this. I don't expect people to go, oh, look at, here's the Deathsphere 13, he's brand new, he barely puts videos up once a month nowadays. Compared to the once a week he started out with or so. I mean, let's go watch him, let's go make him a big YouTuber right here now. It doesn't work like that. Parents, it does not work like that. But my parents, being the headstrong people they are, they'd rather see me become what they consider lazy, which is a video game designer, which that's not lazy at all, over, you know, someone else who's more lazy, YouTube, someone on YouTube. Have you seen the amount of just struggles a YouTuber goes through? If they stop being extremely good at a game for maybe a whole week, and that M6, whoa, okay, that was weird. Yay, War Thunder replays, but that whole deal just doesn't happen overnight, and they expect it to. It's like, I mean, all parents expect great things out of their children. That's not the wrong thing, but when you expect, you know, something, when they say, oh, it's not gonna just happen overnight, and they expect it to happen overnight, it's kind of a broken circle there, where the same thing's gonna happen again and again and again, until someone just gets sick and tired of it and changes. Well, that's not the kind of thing that I like to see happen. And in all honesty, I don't care what people think of me. Sure, I care a little bit about what people think of me, but I'm not just gonna go sit around and do whatever I want and whatnot. Nice dodge by me, by the way, in my opinion, but I don't like the idea of just sitting around and waiting to do something that I want. I don't know what's going on with the War Thunder replay system. Well, not War Thunder, World of Tanks replay system. But it just kind of gets to me when it's like, oh, what'll make you happy, and let's do the exact opposite. You know, let's see what you want to do, tell you can't do it, let's do something I want you to do. When it really makes no concern to them. And I think right about here is when I start to get a bit impatient and do something stupid at this point, but back to the subject, it bugs me, it honestly does, that they're like, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, purely for money. Oh, it's not for money, by the way. It's for you. It's what you want to do. Even though what you said you want to do is something we don't want you to do, and, you know, I'm not going to support you on that. But if your brother needs resources to do anything, I'm just going to give it to him. And it gets to my mind where it's like, okay, so, let me get this straight. You say you're supporting me, but every time I come up with a quote-quote idea, it just gets thrown out the window, and here's where I make my mistake in the replay. And how did that bounce? Let me just, see if I can get this. Because I really want to see where I bounced off this guy. And okay, so I didn't do too bad, but back to the subject again. Sorry about the random, oh, over here, I gotta come back. Oh, over here, I gotta come back. But it just seems like no matter what I do, no matter what I will say, no matter what I could say, no matter what I do say, and all those with do, no matter what I do, no matter what I will do, no matter what I could do, it just, they don't like what I do. They won't like what I say. They don't like. And back in their day, they would have changed for their parents, otherwise they would have been kicked out of the house by now, and they would have decided to be more mature, and, yeah. That's why whenever I try to explain something, or tell you something, you just throw it right out the window. 'Cause it's not what you want. If that's how your parents were, fine, but when you said, I'm not gonna act like my parents, and then my parents, when I was your age, I did, well, my parents wouldn't allow this, well, you're not your parents. That's what you've told me. So, and that heat round, I was expecting one of the artillery or something. And this, what is it, Jägerpanther? Yeah, this Jägerpanzer 4 is AFK, by the way. But they don't take into consideration this is not their childhood. I am not their parents' child. I am not them. And I don't know what it is with my parents. Maybe it's with other parents as well. They don't care what I want. It doesn't seem like that anyway. They say they care. They say they want to help. But all I really see from them is, no, I want you to do this. No, I want you to do that. No, 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 no. It's not what I want. Which is aggravating to no end. Now this is funny. That M37, I think I hit him as well. No, never mind, I didn't. But this whole ordeal with school and college and me starting up my career, it just seems to go in one way or out the other. And when I tried to, yep, there's where I make my mistake. I underestimated this ELC. I thought he was on the other side of the map, going after our artillery already. I mean, we've got 1 minute left. We're not going to win this, but I'm going to continue through. With this whole parent ordeal thing, it just seems like they don't truly, they say they care, they say they want to care, but they don't act like it. Oh, we want to help you out with your career. We want to help you out with your future, but it's going to be done our way, and you're going to do what
Rotating the turret
we
slowly.
want.
Should be working now.
Despite us saying we want to help you, we want you, we want to help you with this, we want to help you with that. They don't act like it. They just don't. It just seems like all they care about is how much money I make at the end of the day. And I don't, I mean, money's a great motivator, but it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Living for. Well, this has been the Deathsphere 13. Sorry if I offended anyone with my talk of, oh, parents should do this, oh, parents are like this, oh, yeah. But it's just what's on my mind, and as a YouTuber, no one can stop me until after I'm done speaking. So, I guess I should wrap up the video. This has been the Deathsphere 13. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please check out my channel. And if you want to keep updated with my sporadic and sparse videos as of right now, please subscribe. Deathsphere 13, signing out.